Welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC and then the current price action of BTC. It seems like BTC wants to break out, but we're getting a lot of challenge just about 5250 to 5200, right? So it is a good thing we're moving above 5200 at the moment, but the lower time frame is pretty critical, right? So if you can hear me, just let me know if we don't have any issues with the sound, right? So let's take a look at CoinMarketCap very quick before you guys are tuning in. BTC is just about like 5262 on CoinMarketCap. Ethereum sitting like just about 180, pretty good. XRP is still number 3, right? So just about 1% move to the upside. So but doing very bad versus BTC. So Litecoin looking good, 88 to almost 90. So let's see. I mean, nothing has changed like the last 24 hours. So but the market is pretty green. Like you can see like some red here and there. But AION doing good. So you guys know how to check the CoinMarketCap. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on CoinMarketCap. So let's go back to BTC very quick. We're still getting some high highs on the on this area. We some high lows, not high highs but some high lows, but a double top just about like 52.75. And you guys know how to check the coin market. Okay, coin lecture, thank you. The sound is good, so I can keep going, right? When you take a look at the Heikin-Ashi, we getting a nice beautiful uptrend, right? The momentum is slowing down. You can see like the slope is curving. You take a look at it now, we're getting this type of a curve, right? So we could be moving sideways just like that all the way up to like 6K, or we just could be expecting like a 1-to-1 extension of the big move to the upside, like the first move of April 1st, right? So but let's go back to the lower time frame, because the hourly time frame is pretty interesting. First of all, although let's get a clean chart. Like I told you guys, on the hourly time frame, this pattern is the same as the daily time frame on the right shoulder. So we got a nice correction on the hourly time frame. Most people are not paying attention because the breakout might be coming very, very shortly, right? So you got a nice correction after we retest the area of this on the hourly time frame, like on the 7, retest the neckline. We got a nice correction, just like Litecoin, right? Like that. So but I'm expecting BTC to get back to this area, make this W a small push to the downside, and a move to the upside. I'm not worried about the RSI. RSI is looking great, right? Just about 64 on the hourly time frame, as I mentioned previously, right? On my last live stream, right? So I said like RSI is looking great. So we're most likely gonna break out. I'm looking for a 5450 to 56 very shortly, this week at least, right? Because on the daily time frame, BTC is looking great, right? When you take a look at the RSI, and then the bears could not drop the price. Look at the RSI; it's extremely oversold, right? When you take a look at the Heikin-Ashi, right? It is extremely overbought, not oversold, right? And they cannot drop the price, so it is pretty important, like, to keep that in mind. If BTC were to drop, we could see like a lot of sell-off, right? And then the RSI gonna come back down to like 40 and then 50, right? So but it is looking pretty good, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. XRP BTC on the daily time frame, we're about to get a divergence, right? It is pretty good. Let's see, move on to, so we're about to get a divergence, right? So that's the type of divergence I was looking for on the daily time frame, right? So the RSI is facing up, right? And then we got a big tail, big wick, small body, you know, which is a sign of reversal, right, on the daily time frame. XRP BTC on Binance, right? Big tail, big wick, small body. Attempted to reverse but came back, retest this area. So it is a good sign, at least for the short term. Hey, what's up, HR? All right, from USA. So when you take a look at it, right? So what's your time zone? I know it's pretty late, but you know, it's just about like 3:30 a.m. you know, in Georgia. So when you take a look at the XRP, right? You know, we're about to get a divergence, so it is a good sign. The selling pressure is declining. We got a double bottom, so I'm eager to see like what type of reaction XRP gonna do. Most likely it's gonna be very volatile, you know, after this divergence. So first of all, let's try to attempt this 50 EMA, which is just about 7,600, right? 7,600, just about 8,000, right? Let's say 8,000. We're most likely gonna get a rejection, but it's not going to be a bad idea to retest 8,000 level, right? A retest and a move to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for XRP, at least for the short term, to retest this 8,000 level, right? So because I did not see this divergence on the daily time frame, I didn't see this divergence, at least like for the short term. So but because I've been focusing too much on the weekly time frame, because sometimes it's too much noise when you talk about XRP and then you take a look at the daily time frame. So but the weekly time frame, it doesn't look good at all. But the daily time frame, we getting like some reversal sign, at least for the short term, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the ADA. Get a clean chart. All right, ADA. BTC on Binance weekly chart. The ADA weekly chart is looking beautiful, man. Nice uptrend. Volume is kicking in the last 5 weeks, right? So we just got a small rejection just about this area of 50 EMA. A slight pullback, like let's say 10 to 15% pullback wouldn't hurt much, but I don't think we're gonna get any pullback as long as BTC is strong, right? For ADA, I don't see any pullback from ADA as long as BTC is strong. Even though the RSI is facing down, you know, let's see. The most I can see ADA dropping is just about 382, right? It's already at 382, so just about 1505. That's what I, you know, when you take a look at the hack and Asher, but when you get back to the so when you take a look at it on the even on the regular candles, ADA is back to like 382. So the most I can see ADA dropped is just about this area of 50%, right? Like, which is you know, let's say 1400, right? Which is a 0.618, right? Just about another. That's too much, man. Another 21% to the downside. So, but BTC is pretty bullish. So most likely ADA gonna hold strong. You know, a 10 to 14% drop, and then all of a sudden we're gonna see another move to the upside. So, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. ADA is pretty bullish, at least for the short term. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. Hey, what's up, Mr. Rodriguez? The crypto market. Crypto market. All right, thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. You know, I try to do at least like a live stream every day, so because the market is pretty bullish, man. You don't get these type of chances, like these type of chances twice a year. You know, you never know like when is the market going to be bullish again. So you gotta want to take advantage of it while it is lasting. So we could come back, definitely. If you take a look at the daily time frame, we're definitely gonna need some support from this 50 EMA, which is just about like a let's say 1450, right? It's not gonna be a bad idea to get back to this area, right? RSI is facing to the upside, right? So look for a double correction just about, you know, this area of the RSI. So for 88, but 1450 to 1500, it's not gonna be a bad idea if BTC like you know, move to the upside, most likely ADA gonna come back down, retest you know, this area of 0.618, right? So let's go ahead and talk about XLM. I already talked about XRP. ADA, we got a big breakout right from that neckline, so most likely people are going to be taking profit, right? So you take a look at XLM, right? XLM kind of look like AION, right? So before BTC you know, got that big move to the upside, right? So let's get a clean shot, right? So you take a look at XLM, we got a big move to the upside, right? A pullback to, let's see, 0.786, I mean 0.618 exactly, right, at 0.618, and then a double bottom. So it is pretty nice. You could be anticipating a big move to the upside from XLM, at least for the short term, to retest the previous high, right, just about this area. So but it has to remain strong, right? Because BTC about to move to the upside, so a 25% move versus BTC is not going to be easy, right? So it has to do it before BTC move to the upside. Otherwise, we could be making another double bottom. If BTC wants to go to 6,000, most likely XLM going to remain just about this area, and then you know, making a double bottom. It is already making a double bottom, but it's going to make a 3 up, another 3 down, while BTC is going to the upside. And after BTC, you know, remain silent, it's going to move to the upside. Because you got to think about it, man. Most of these coins, they cannot go 25%, 50% up, you know, versus BTC when BTC is going up. They only can go up when BTC is making a flag, like I always said, right? BTC is making a flag, they're going up, like what Nano did, right? You see, Nano went up like almost like 30% after BTC like was making this slow move to the upside, right? No, this declining slope, and Nano went up, jump, you know, take advantage of this flag from BTC, right? So you got to keep that in mind. So 25% move to the upside versus BTC is kind of a lot. So you can expect a 3 up, right? Just like the 3 up, you know, and come back down, something like that. It's going to be a double bottom, just about to say. It's already a double bottom, but what I mean, like a 3-wave move to the upside. It's not a 3-wave move to the upside, right? So just like that, some sort of correction just like that, right? That's what I mean. You're gonna get this type of correction just about this area before a push to the upside, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Nano. Nano BTC on Binance. Guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you're new to the content. I've been covering Nano like you know, when Nano was just about this area of 23,000 to 24,000, right? And Nano went up like 35,000. And our ultimate target for Nano is just about 50,000, right, before end of the spring. So if you wanna, you know, join us for the, you know, spring party, you can just hit the like and subscribe, because most of these alt, they're gonna do well. I've been covering Nano when Nano was like let's say just about like, I think like 70 cents, right? And Nano is like almost like 170, I think, right, on the dollar value. So 170 in that range. I don't really look at the dollar value, but it's just about like 32,000, right? So you take a look at it, it's already like 47%, right, to the upside, right, since I started covering Nano, like from 23,000 to you know, 37,000, right? Let's say it's already 50%, right, from the previous high. But let's go to the price action of Nano, right? Now, right now we got a big move to the upside with like you know, 2 days in a row with big volume. That's the first time Nano got this type of move, so it's a wake-up call, right? So, but BTC about to break out, so most likely Nano gonna cool down. So, if you wanna be conservative, right, you wanna wait for Nano to get back to this area of 50% retracement. So, because you gotta think about it. Nano take a cheap shot from BTC. BTC is cooling down. Nano just jumped to the, you know, move to the upside. So that was a cheap shot from Nano, right? So you gotta keep that in mind. So it pulled back to like a 2,900 to a 28 let's say 28.50 to 29.50, which is not bad, right? So because BTC about to move, that's just a 10% drop from the current price, which is not bad, right? It's not bad. It could be like the next 48 to 72 hours, Nano could come back down and retest this area. It doesn't have to be like 3 days. It could be like even like a big week to the downside. Most of the time, like Stratus did, like I think Wave also did, IOTA did, Populous also did, those weak to the downside. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is looking strong. Oh, HR is 3:30 a.m. You take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is looking very, very promising. Even though I thought like Litecoin gonna drop like to $75 on its dollar value, but it is looking pretty strong. The selling pressure is decreasing the last 3 days. Price is decreasing. I would love to see like higher selling pressure and then a decline in price. That would be a better reversal sign. But the 50 EMA is moving fast. Most likely we're gonna get a support from it. We got the 100 EMA acting as a support, and then if you want to take the fib retracement, Litecoin got a long way to go down, right? So if you want to catch Litecoin at like 0.618, you're gonna wait forever, right? So you're gonna get your 382 and your 50 EMA acting as a support, right? So I don't see Litecoin dropping to 0.618 anytime soon, which is 30% drop versus BTC. I don't see that, right? I don't see Litecoin dropping 30% versus BTC. I've been saying it, right? Litecoin is pretty strong, right? We got a 60-day divergence, 60 days, right? RSI is moving to the downside, price is moving to the upside for 60 days. So you can expect also BTC to get at least 15 to 30 days divergence on the RSI. I've been saying it about. Same thing about Tron, right? Tron got like almost like 45 days divergence. So you got to keep that in mind. All right. Litecoin is pretty strong. Nothing to say about Litecoin. Just could be getting a nice correction before another move to the upside, just like that. And another move to the upside, right? But Litecoin is looking pretty strong. I don't see Litecoin dropping anytime soon to like a $50 or something like that. No. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum right next. Take a look at Ethereum, a big reversal from this area of RSI, right? We just got a big reversal, so that's a good sign, right? That's a good sign. But we gotta be able to break this neckline. Not a neckline. I keep calling it a neckline because of BTC. But this area is very critical, right? Stratus is just about this area about to break out. I talked about Stratus on my previous live stream. I said like if Stratus is able to close above like to 25, let's say 25.20, right? It is most likely going to break out the next like 24 to 48 hours, right? But we got to be able to break out. We're going to talk about Stratus next. But we take a look at Ethereum, right? Beautiful formation. A 1-to-1 extension need to be completed, from this area of the 2018 low, right? Let's take a look at it. Ethereum, we got low, high, right? If you want to be conservative, you could be anticipating a 1-to-1 extension, which is just another, let's see, which is just another move to the upside, like 43% move to the upside, if you just want to be conservative. But if you want to be aggressive, you can get this entire move from this area, right, of a resistance, right? You could be looking at another 60% move to the upside, right? So if BTC remain at the 5K, you could be looking at like almost like $300 Ethereum, right? And 5K BTC, at least for the short term, right? So Ethereum is pretty bullish, man. I know it's not doing much the last couple of weeks, but as soon as BTC get to 6K, most likely Ethereum gonna get a big move to the upside, right? So because it cannot stay just about this area versus BTC forever, right? So even though the dollar value going to be going up versus, I mean, when BTC goes up, Ethereum holding strong, the dollar value of Ethereum going to be going up, right? But most people don't pay attention to the BTC value. That's the most important. Regardless of your how many Ethereum you got, if BTC goes up and then Ethereum holds strong, the dollar value of Ethereum gonna go up, right? So, and Ethereum is almost 180, and then it hasn't done anything, you know, the last, let's say 30 days. It has not done anything, and then, you know, it went up from like 130 to 180 because of BTC, not because of Ethereum is going up. So you gotta keep that in mind. It is sleeping, right? So it's gonna wake up and then it's gonna surprise everybody with a 30% move to the upside. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at NEO next. Hey, what's up, Blanks? Any upcoming move for XRP? I'm going to talk about XRP. I already talked about XRP, but I'm going to get back to XRP. The daily time frame is looking great, so keep tight. Just hit the like and subscribe, and then after NEO, I'm going to talk about XRP. The daily time frame looking promising for XRP, right? Let's go ahead and let's get a clean chart. When you take a look at NEO, right? NEO is lagging behind when you take a look at the price action of NEO compared to a Litecoin, right? So NEO is like about $12. Litecoin is like, you know, 88. That's like what? Almost like one fifth, right? Something like that, you know, 1/7, right? So it's a big ratio, right? So that's very big. And then, you know, last bull run, NEO topped out like almost $200, and Litecoin was like 350, something like that. So you can see the difference, right? So before this bull market is over, you gotta think about NEO gonna close that gap. So you gotta keep that in mind. So don't sleep on NEO. It's gonna close that gap. At least, like if Litecoin tapped out like 120, 130, NEO gonna get like to 75, in that range of 75 to 80. If Litecoin like tapped out at 100, you can expect at least NEO to get to 45. You know, 45 to 55. So, and the current price of NEO is just about $13, right? So it's a pretty big deal. But NEO and Ethereum, they got the same pattern, but you know, NEO decided to make its own way up, you know, from this area, right, and move with BTC. So that was pretty strong. That was a good sign from NEO. At least I like that move. When I saw NEO moving to the upside with BTC and then Ethereum was dropping to the downside, I was pretty surprised, right? I was like, whoa, NEO is showing some strength, right? But look at what happened. We got a big wick to the downside. I hope you guys can see the screen, right? On the first, right, that's when the BTC started to move up, right? You know, NEO was holding strong, but you know, break down to the downside, get a support, and a big move to the upside. So we just coming back to retest this area of 50 EMA to see how strong we are, you know, from this area of accumulation. Most people have been accumulating, right? This entire move is nothing but accumulation, right? So we just about this area of 50 EMA. Let's see if NEO gonna break this area. Not break this area, but get back to this area, just like Stratus. I'm gonna talk about Stratus. Stratus is looking strong, man, and most likely gonna break out as soon as we break that 25 for 50. We're gonna break out. So, but look for NEO to make a big move to the upside, right? But you know, if BTC wants to go to 5,500, most likely NEO is not gonna make this big move to the upside. I don't think it can replicate this move if BTC is moving to the upside. So BTC has to make a slow move to the upside so NEO can take advantage of that move. But a 20% move versus BTC is not going to be easy, right? If BTC is extremely bullish, it's not going to be easy. Even though the dollar value of NEO going to be going up, but a 20% move is not going to come like in a one day versus BTC, right? So unless BTC is like moving sideways and stay at 5,200 for the next couple of days, then NEO can move back to this area. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, right? Right. So let's go ahead and take a look at NEO. Let's take a look at ICX first of all. Stratus is looking beautiful. Let's take a Stratus first. Strat BTC. chain is cracking down on miners. All right, you take a look at Stratus, right? Let me get a clean shot first, because I gave a very detailed analysis about Stratus, right? On my previous altcoin daily update, right? You take a look at Stratus, the long-term view of Stratus, right? That's a beautiful chart, right? Even that's the most beautiful chart currently you can find in the market, like a nice accumulation move, like no breakout. Stratus hasn't, you know, we haven't seen a breakout from Stratus since like the second week of January, right? Nice, you know, nice area of accumulation. So what happened with Stratus is that as soon as BTC started to push to the upside, you know, we saw like a big, let's get rid of this. Okay, we saw a big drop, you know, from Stratus, right? And then they pushed to the upside. So this push to the upside is the same move Nano made, right? Nano made this move to the upside and came back, retest this area, right? And then push to the upside, right? So I'm expecting like Stratus, right? That's what I'm expecting. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say if Stratus can close above this area. It doesn't have to close above the wick, but we just have to close above, like, let's say 25.50, right? Let's say 25.50, you know, before tomorrow, like you know, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right? So let's say Stratus close above like 25.50. We're most likely going to be turning, you know, getting like big move from like Stratus, right? So the chart is looking beautiful. No counting, just pattern. You know, you don't have to do anything. This is a big accumulation move. It is a big accumulation move, right? Just like Monero. I don't know if you guys familiar with Monero chart, but I'm going to talk about Monero. So, but Monero we've been seeing like an accumulation move from Monero since like mid-December. So, and Monero hasn't done much. So, you take a look at the RSI, pretty beautiful, man. Hasn't been oversold like since like when? Last week of November, right? The mid-November. That's the last time you see like Stratus like getting back to this area. So, we're at least gonna retest the overbought area. That's my expectation from Stratus before we see any like oversold region on our side. So, but keep an eye on Stratus breaking out from let's say 24.50. If not, we're gonna have to retest this area again, right? We're just gonna have to retest this area, right? So either a break to the upside, like with a 15 to 20% move, and you know, a flag, or we're gonna have to come back here, and then you know, especially if BTC wants to break out, it has to do it before BTC goes up to like 56,000. It has to do it very quick, because these coins, they understand that they cannot go stronger than BTC if BTC wants to go up. So price prediction on IOTA. Hey, what's up Julian, Ovidio, what's up Royal Computer? I'm going to talk about IOTA. IOTA is one of my top picks for this month. So if you haven't watched that video, go to my channel, right? Let's see. I don't want to stop the streaming, but go to my channel and then look for a my top 7 pick for April. Look for that video, right? Top 7 pick for April. Okay, look for that video. IOTA, Stratus, I think IOTA, Stratus, XRP, Bitcoin SV. Let me take a look at the list again. Ethereum Classic, Waves, and then Ethereum Classic already went up 60%. Bitcoin SV went up like 50%, right? So Tron to give you like a 25% move from 500 sats to like 600 sats. That's already a 25% move. And then Stratus is on the brink of breaking out. So keep that in mind, right? So just go on my YouTube channel and check for my top 7 pick for April, right? And then you're gonna see IOTA. So let's go ahead and talk about ICX, right? ICX. We're also going to take a look at HoloChain, ICX, BTC. So remind me if I forgot about those coins, because sometimes I just have my list of coins I have to take a look at, right? So let's get a clean chart, right? So ICX, what I said, Sire coin, XLM, and ICX. So you take a look at ICX, right? It is making the same move AION made. You know, maybe I will get a chance to talk about AION. So a push to the upside, right? You know, came back down to this area, a double correction. BTC went strong, so ICX has to come back down, right? Let's take a look at it, right? It is pretty interesting what I'm telling you. You gotta keep that in mind. So let me just zoom in, right? You take a look at this area. It is very important, like, because you can forget when you take a look at the crypto market, the current state of the crypto market. You can just forget about everything, like from like April 1st and anything before April 1st, you can just forget about it, like, and just focus on this area, like April 1st and onward, right? So you take a look at this area. What happened on April 1st? Bitcoin went up, ICX went down, right? ICX, you know, came back down to retest this area, but it fails, right? And coming back down to retest the same area, you know, of the let's say April 2nd, right? So you can expect like ICX to get back up to this area, at least for the short term, right? And do the same thing Stratus is attempting to do, a breakout. So if you own like any crypto, just check the this area of April 1st, April 2nd, right? To the current price of that coin, right? So April 1st, a breakdown, push to the upside, come back down. They're all making the same move, right? So either they're making that move, or they're making this move, right? They break down, make a flag, and then come back down, right? Some of them, they're still on this flag, right? You know, making this correction, and they attempted to get back to this area. So they're all gonna break out, but they're not gonna break out at the same time, right? So keep that in mind. So when you take a look at ICX, right? I said on my previous live stream, I think somebody asked me about ICX. I said like ICX is gonna come back down to like 750, and it did, right? I knew it's gonna come back down. As soon as I saw this rejection, I knew ICX is not gonna break out. It is not going to break out, right? So I'll say like ICX is gonna come back down to like 750, right? And then it did come back down to like, let's see, I think like come back low was 765, right? Pretty close, right? We just got a support from the 100 EMA. So you can expect, at least for the short term, but you have to wait to see if a Stratus is going to break that area, because you know these coins, they're going to give it a pattern, right? So wait for Stratus to break that area I just showed you, right? Like 2450, and then move to the upside with a at least 10 to 15% move to the upside. You can expect like ICX to make the same move, right? So keep that in mind, right? So sometimes the pattern you need, right, it's not in that coin, right? It's not in ICX. It's not about like ICX going to move to the upside, right? So you just have to, you know, either find that pattern within ICX or find that pattern somewhere, because you got a beautiful chart, right? Beautiful chart, nice pullback, you know, nice falling wedge, nice probably like, let's see, it's most likely 0.618 or 50%. Let's see, exactly at 50%, right? We retested 50%, coupled with a 50 EMA and 100 EMA. So it is pretty nice. So, but we have to get back to this area of like, let's say 9,000, right? We have to get back to 9,000 and then make a sideways correction and then break 8,000. But we have to do it before BTC decide to get to 6K. Otherwise, we're gonna be just about this area forever. Because you know, you gotta think about it. I keep saying it. These coins, they're not gonna go up, you know, higher than BTC if BTC wants to go strong. ICX. Let's go ahead and take a look at WANCHAIN. Yeah, I think that was you, right, who said like ICX gonna break out. So I told you it's not gonna break out. WANCHAIN. But just because I was right that time, it doesn't mean like I'm gonna be right about ICX, you know, about this call. It could like even like get back to that area of 0.618, right? So you take a look at WANCHAIN, right? And then WANCHAIN is coming back down to this area, right? Below its area of you know, 50 EMA. It is pretty strange, right? So like I said, right, what happened on the first, most of the coin they got weak, right? and weaker and weaker since the first, because BTC is pretty strong. Some of these coins, they cannot go against BTC. You got to keep that in mind. You know, basically forget about it, you know, this whole move. Just forget about it. Basically, let's see. Just forget about this whole move and just focus. Try to focus on this move right here. This move right here after the April 1st, that's the most important move. So most of these coins, they're going to tell you what they're going to do, right? Because BTC, you know, started to get strong on the 1st, and then ICX, not ICX, but WANCHAIN, like, you know, just got weak, man. It's getting weaker and weaker. So let's take a look at what area of on our fib retracement we at right now. So we just about 786. It is a good sign, right? But we don't have any sort of a divergence on the R side. At 786 pullback, you want to see a divergence, right? But we don't have any sort of divergence. So the only thing I can expect from WANCHAIN is a sudden, like, all of a sudden we're going to see a big move to the upside. That's the only thing I can expect, right? So a nice ABC correction, a 0.786 pullback, you know, it's nothing you can expect but a big move to the upside. I don't think WANCHAIN will have time to, you know, get this type of correction. It doesn't have that time, right? The pullback is too severe, so it has to regain that momentum, just like Tron did, right? Tron went from 600, I think 621, right, to 500, right, and then went back straight to 600. So you got to keep that in mind. So a 25% move versus BTC, let's see. Yes, it's just going to take, you know, ICX back to this area of resistance when BTC started to go strong, just like Stratus, right? So it is very possible, but it has to do it very quick, you know. It has to do it very quick. So keep that in mind for ICX with a 25% move to the upside. So very shortly, I don't see ICX breaking this area of support, right? I don't see ICX breaking this area of support. So, but at least for the short term, we could get back to this area before BTC, you know, trying to bully these coins. All right. So next coin we're going to talk about is Monero. Monero. What do I think about what? ICX, WANCHAIN. You have a buy order for WANCHAIN at 8,000. So let's see, what's the current price of WANCHAIN? It's just about like 8,400, right? So 8,000 is a big support. Let's see. 8,000 is, we almost at 8,000. It's just about like less than 5%, right? So the current price is 842. So 8,000 is just for 4.5 to 6%, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's just about 4.5, right? So it's not much, right? So, but depending on your position side, it's not a financial advice, but you know, I wouldn't be crying too much when you're trying to get like a 30% move to the upside. Cry like a 3%. So, but the market is too volatile. Sometimes you try to like to wait for a 1% move to the downside, and then the price, you know, went up like, you know, 7-8%, and then you're chasing it. So just be careful. So it's not a financial advice, but I think, like, you know, we could be getting back to this area of a neckline. Not a neckline, but because I keep thinking about BTC just about on the first. So we could be getting back to this area. So all right, because ICX, I mean, WANCHAIN doesn't have a crossover. Most of the alt, they already got this crossover. Even BTC got this crossover. So you got to think about it. Even BTC, right, moves slower than these alt, got this crossover. So you can expect at least WANCHAIN trying to attempt to get this crossover, at least, right? Even if it's gonna go lower, get this crossover at least, man. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about EOS and then Monero next. We're gonna take a look at XRP too. So I think somebody asked about XRP. So IOTA, yeah, I'm gonna take a look at IOTA. So remind me on the chart list, so before I forget. So because I have a list of a coin I go by. So let's take a look at the EOS. Let's just remove everything. So When you take a look at EOS, EOS is looking good, but I just don't like this double top. We have to close above this, above this area, at least for the short term. I don't like the double top. Otherwise, we're gonna have to come back, retest this 50 EMA. We have to break out before BTC breakout, but it is looking good. I don't like the way EOS is breaking out with BTC. It has to find its own way, right? Like I mentioned before, right? This pattern right here, this pattern is the same exact pattern you got right here, and then we got the breakout. So, and then we got another small pattern just about this, just about that area, right? So you can expect, at least for the short term, right, EOS attempting to break this previous high, but it has to, like I keep saying, it has to do it before BTC move to the upside. So EOS has to find its own edge, not like following BTC. I'm not comfortable with that, because if BTC like starts to like move to the downside, you can see like EOS gonna, it's gonna like suffer a lot, right? So if BTC goes down like 5%, most likely EOS gonna drop like 10%, 15%. So EOS needs to go higher than BTC, so when BTC goes down, it's not gonna suffer a lot. But so hey, well, we got a 1-to-1 extension just about this area. Let's see, we could be expecting like multiple 1-to-1 extension from EOS. Let's see, let's take this tool. One, right? It's like almost 1.2%. I mean 1.27 extension. So you can we already got another 1-to-1 extension from this area to that area. So let's see if EOS gonna break this area and then move like to 0.012 BTC, and before which is 120,000, right, sats. So at least close above like 100 and let's say 115. EOS needs to close like above 115, at least for the short term, and then we're gonna update the price. The RSI is looking great. Facing up, right? Just 70, an area of resistance. It is pretty good. A small push to the upside gonna give EOS a big momentum, right? So we're gonna talk about POPULOUS. Let's go ahead and talk about Monero. XMR BTC. Guys, if you just come in, just make sure to hit the like, and if you're new to the content, make sure to subscribe so you get these updates, right? So Monero looking great, man. It just like break to the downside when BTC decided to move to the upside, right? So let's get a clean chart. So Monero, like on the first, like I keep saying, right, the first is the most important day in crypto right now, right? It is the most important day. That's the most important day you need to be paying attention at, right? Paying attention on. So yeah, on the first we got a big sell-off. So Monero is looking weak. It's not doing anything, right, since the first moving sideways. So you can expect, like, if BTC wants to go bullish, you can expect like a nice ABC, just like WANCHAIN, right? So you could be expecting either a 1-to-1 extension, a 1.618 extension, but I'm just going to update the price. So let's see. So you can expect, it's already almost like 1.618, so you can expect like a 1-to-1 extension in this area, just about this area. So that's what I'm expecting from Monero if BTC like decides to go to the upside, right? But if not, if BTC remains calm at like 52 to 53, we can expect like Monero to challenge this area again, right? At least for the short term, and then try to break out just like Nano. So hopefully, like most of these coins, they're gonna break out before BTC. Otherwise it's not gonna look good for this coin versus BTC. So you gotta think about it. If most of the coin get back to that area of the first, right? On the 31st, I made a nice video. I said like altcoin are looking too bullish for BTC to fail. That was right before BTC started to break out. Like I think BTC break out like an hour later, right after I made that video, because I saw like this this flag, right? Most of these alt, they were just about this area on the 31st, right, ready to break out. But I thought like if BTC like, you know, start to break out, most of these alts, they're gonna break out with BTC, but they didn't, right? Some of them they pushed to the upside a little bit, right, and then they came back down, right, to the downside. So just like Neo pushed to the upside and came back down, like, you know. So but the first is the most important day, you know, in crypto right now. So you got to keep that in mind, at least for altcoin. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP again, right? So I think somebody asked about XRP. Let me know if somebody asked about XRP, so I can take a look at it again. If not, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about Verge, XVG, BTC. Guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe. So take a look at Verge. Like I said, right, on the first, that's the most important day, and that's what I'm gonna focus on altcoin right now until like we see a big breakout, right? Because if you focus on the big picture right now, you're gonna miss a lot. So on the first, right, you got a big sell-off, you know, sideways correction, get back to this area, and then look at what happened, right? A big move to the upside, but you know, coming back to retest it. So Verge is pretty bullish, right? It is pretty bullish, even though we got a big selling pressure. Let's see if Verge is gonna be able to get a support from this area, right? I don't want to see Verge coming back down to this area for a 50 EMA. I do not want to see Verge do that. So, but at least for the short term, right, you can see on the first, right, you know, if you got like a trading view, you can go on your trading view and check that out. On the first, you know, a breakdown, right, push back up just like a Nano and a Stratus, and let's see how much Verge went up after that. Almost like 20% move to the upside, right? Almost, right? As soon as we get back to that area, we went up 20%. So just keep that in mind, right? Most of these alt, as soon as they get back to that area of you know, the first, whichever alt you're holding, just check that price, right, on the 1st of April. If they get back to that area, wait for a breakout. If not, they're gonna have to come back down to this area of 50 EMA and get a support. But Verge is looking pretty good. You know, let's hope like Verge is not gonna break this area of support, right? So let's hope it's not gonna break it. So otherwise, I'm gonna have to update the price. And then we got a nice trend line just about this area, right? Even Verge, if Verge like break this area of support, we could get a support from this trend line. So I don't see like Verge coming back down to like a 150 and 150 sats, stuff like that. So the market is pretty bullish for that. I mean, I'm just some people ask, I don't have any Verge, so some people are just asking about the chart. I'm just going by the chart, so it's not about, I try not to focus on fundamentals, right, too much. So let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA. Somebody asked about IOTA, because IOTA is one of my top pick for April. So you know, even if IOTA BTC, Binance, not IOTA, let's talk about IOTA BTC, not USD. Okay, let's get a clean chart, right? So you take a look at IOTA, right? IOTA looks like a ZILLIQA. So if you know what's going on with ZILLIQA, you're gonna know what's going on with IOTA. So same pattern, double bottom, double top, 0.618x, I mean 0.786 pullback, right? Let's verify. I'm very familiar with IOTA chart just by knowing ZILLIQA, so, and Dash and NEBLIO, right? came back down to 0.786. Nice accumulation move, just like Stratus. So you can expect, at least for the short term, right? So forget about, this whole move, right, until the first. Forget about this entire move, right? Just focus on this April 1st. So on April 1st, right, just about this area, IOTA just started to move to the downside. Never, it has never like tried. I mean, we haven't seen like IOTA coming back down to this area, at least for the short term. So like, let's say we break this area of support, we could be making a 1-to-1 extension easily, or 1.618, I mean not 1.618, but 0.618 extension, right? So we could see like IOTA just about like 63.30 if IOTA break this area of support, right? So it wouldn't be bad to retest this area and then get more momentum and move to the upside. So, and move back to this area. So, but we have to hold strong, right, versus versus BTC. So in BTC looks like it's pretty strong at the moment. So hey, what's up, Sun Singh? Yeah, I just decided to do a night live stream. So I'm gonna do another live stream tomorrow, just about like 1 p.m. something like that, right? So we're gonna talk about the altcoin and then BTC and then the total market cap. So the total market cap is looking pretty interesting, because I think like we're gonna hit at least 300 billion to 320. I said it like a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember. I said like we could be going like to 275 to 325, right? So you take a look at IOTA, right? Going back to IOTA, big support, no divergence on the R side. I mean, a slight divergence. It's not completely oversold, right? And then last time we got to this area of oversold area was like last week of January, right? So, but look for a divergence, right? Look for a divergence. So, because IOTA is not looking strong versus BTC, right? A nice accumulation move, but just push to the downside, right? We could be getting back to this area of let's see, 77.84 to 78.83 before we see a breakout from BTC, right? But if that's the case, IOTA has to make a big move to the upside very shortly. No, it doesn't have too much time, right? Because BTC is pretty strong right now. Because you gotta think about it, if BTC like drop 5%, most likely IOTA gonna drop like 2.5% versus BTC or so, right? Of at least 5% versus BTC. So, but if BTC remains strong, it could like steal the show and then move at like 30% to the upside, right? Sometimes IOTA give you those type of move. I used to buy IOTA when it was like, let's say, that was like back in 2017, like 21 cents, something like that, 18 cents. So, but IOTA is pretty strong. So a 20% move to the upside, that's what we need. So it doesn't have to be one day. It can be like just like Verge. You remember, not Verge, but Tron, right? Tron went from 503 to 600. Like nobody expected it, right? And everybody was calling Tron bull run. It wasn't a bull run. I mean, it was just like a correction, coming back down to 0.618 and then going back up to a 50 MA. It wasn't like I said Tron is not going to break out. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Tron, since we already mentioned it. Oh, take a look at Tron. All right, Tron is looking very interesting, right? But this crossover, gonna give Tron a tough time if Tron, doesn't like get its act together and then avoid this crossover. In order to avoid this crossover, it has to make a very impulse wave to the upside, like a 40 to 50% move, right? So, and then we're already getting like a reversal signal. This big wick, big tail, small body. Let's take a look at it. It doesn't look bad, bro. It doesn't look bad on the Heiken Ashi. So, but on a regular candle, it looks like we could be retesting this low. But you take a look at it, right? Like I said, the first is the most important day in crypto, right? BTC decided to push to the upside. Look at what Tron did to the downside, came back, retest this area. So, but couldn't break out. It could not break out, right? Just like Stratus. So watch Stratus very carefully, right? Tron got back to that same area, but it is facing like some challenge, right? So Stratus could be facing the same type of challenge, but Nano was able to break out from this area after coming back to the area of the April 1st, right? That's the most important area right now to keep in mind in crypto. The whole pattern before this area, I mean, it is pretty important, but this area right here gonna give you like a better understanding of what's going on, because basically the spring bull market started just about on April 1st, so you have to, you know, pay a special attention to April 1st, because each coin like you know, react differently to BTC breakouts. So that's why you need to pay attention to this area of April 1st. Every single coin I mentioned, right, you see on April 1st, you know, so at least a big wick to the downside, sideways correction, a push to the upside, right? So, and most of the coin we're going to talk about, they're going to have the same pattern, right? Remember this pattern. Either it's going to be this pattern, right? That, and a push back to the upside, get another rejection, right? Or we're going to get back to the upside, and then we're going to push to the upside, right? Just like Nano, right? Think about, I think Neo made this pattern, but it couldn't, you know, break out, come back down to this area. So the 31st and the 1st, you know, are the most important date in crypto, right? So next coin we're going to talk about, let's talk about XRP again, because XRP is looking very, very promising on the daily time frame. Very promising. XRP, BTC. And then we're going to focus on the first, right? Starting on the first, right? So, because you guys familiar with the XRP chart, right? Like, let's take a look at the bigger picture first of all, because some of you guys probably new to the content. So, let's take a look at the weekly time frame, right? Beautiful inverted head and shoulder, nice falling wedge, you know, below the area of 50 EMA. That's the only thing you need to know about XRP. It is a beautiful reversal. Beautiful reversal pattern, right? That's the only thing you need to know, right? And we get back to this area of accumulation, right? And now we're facing some reversal pattern on daily time frame. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. Right, on the daily time frame, we got a nice double bottom, right? I talked about it on my last I think I talked about it like earlier, not on my last previous, not on my last live stream, right? So a nice double bottom, right? When you take a look at it, nice double bottom, right? Coupled with a, you know, divergence, right? All sides moving to the upside, price is making a double bottom. That's a good sign, right? So, but we keep getting like rejection. I keep saying it, like XRP on the hourly time frame. I said like XRP gonna make a double bottom. Like on my if you guys like watch my previous live stream, I said like XRP gonna get a double bottom, right? So that's what we got, a double bottom, right? So let's see if XRP can challenge this area again, right? I won't say XRP challenge this area of the first, right? So let's see. Let me show you. You see the first, what happened? A push to the downside. Well, look at what XRP did. Another push to the upside, but couldn't break out. So only Nano and Verge are the only two coins, right, that were able to break out from this area. So basically BTC is keeping all these coins in check. None of them gonna break out this area of you know, 50 area. Most of them they will, but I'm saying like basically they having a tough time to break out from this area of you know, April 1st. It's either BTC, you know, or you know, or it's like somebody big, like understanding what's going on and then keeping the crypto, moving the crypto to the downside. Because it is very important, right? April 1st is very important. Keep that in mind. So basically XRP got back to this area, but couldn't, you know, hold the price just about this area. So we're making a double bottom, right? So, but it is a pretty beautiful bottom formation, a falling wedge. Let's see if XRP can get a challenge from this area 50 EMA next, right? Because it is only like, let's see, it is just about like 10% move to the upside, like 15% move to the upside from the area of 50 EMA, right? So it is very possible. So, and then XRP is making the same move. I mentioned it on my previous it is making the same move. When you go back to the hourly time frame, I said like XRP going to be making, you know, sideways, going to be moving sideways, right? And then it's going to make this move again, just like that on the hourly time frame, right? Just like that. So just like that. So, and all of a sudden you're going to see a big move to the upside. So wait for the 1.2 billion daily volume from XRP. Otherwise we're not going anywhere. I don't see like us breaking out with like 500 million daily volume, something like that. It's not healthy. We need like 1.8 to 1.2 to 1.8, right, billion daily volume. That's what we need. Even if you go on coin market cap, it's going to show you like all these breakout from XRP is like more than 1.2 billion. All of them 1.2 billion, at least 1 billion, right? So you can go and check it out. So I don't want to I know most of you guys know how to check coin market cap. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching a live technical analysis, right? So you at least have like some sort of knowledge about crypto, like coin market cap, know how to look at volume, circulating supply and all of that. So otherwise you wouldn't be watching at 3 a.m. in the morning. So let's go ahead and talk about let's see, I think we haven't talked about DigiByte yet, right? Let's go ahead and talk about DigiByte. DGB BTC. DigiByte, let's take a look at the daily time frame. For DigiByte, like I think we talked about DigiByte last time, and then we just about this area of 0.786. We could be expecting a rebound from DigiByte. Hopefully, you know, we're not gonna, you know, make a double bottom from this area, but we should get some rebound from DigiByte, at least for the short term. But it's no divergence, right? So that is a big thing, right? So but in order to get a divergence, we have to move to the upside, right? So our side can make a U-turn, right? Just like that. Let's see. So our side, so the R side is pretty vertical, right? So it is very vertical. So it's going to be hard for DigiByte to all of a sudden get a big move, but we could be moving slowly, right? And then just like that, and make a nice just like XRP. I talked about XRP last, right? So just like XRP, get this move, and then price gonna make a double bottom, right? But I don't see like a big breakout from a DigiByte unless we got some big news. But according to this pattern, I don't see like a, let me just make a note, DGB, right? Double bottom. All right. But I don't see like DigiByte double bottoming. Not double bottom, but breaking out without a double bottom. But we could, right? But just expect like a double bottom, a sideways correction, and a push to the upside, right? So, cause you gotta think about it, right? DigiByte made a big move to the upside, a very big move to the upside, just like almost like a 90% move to the upside. So, and then like correcting like 80% to the downside. So, and almost to this area of a sold region, right? So let's go ahead and talk about AION. AION BTC, and then we're gonna get back to BTC, right? So AION BTC. When you take a look at AION, right? AION, let me add ICX and WANCHAIN. You see how AION compared to ICX and WANCHAIN. You see how they look alike, right? One BTC. You take a look at AION, right? You see how it looks like a WANCHAIN, right? You take a look, if you overlay this pattern, it's the same, right? It's the same exact thing. Let me just change the color really quick. Style, right? So you can see it. It's the same exact pattern, right? So you take a look at it, right? It's the same exact pattern. It's the same exact pattern, right? So same exact pattern. So I said it like before they break out, because WANCHAIN, you know, made a big move to the upside. I said like AION gonna make a big move to the upside, right? And then if you overlay this chart, it's the same exact thing. So you can expect at least AION to pull back just like a WANCHAIN before another move to the upside. But AION is giving you already like a reversal sign, just like that, right? A big tail, big wick, small body. So it's already giving you this reversal sign, right? So, but we just gonna have to wait and see, because AION did not break out. Like it did break to the downside on the first, right? But it, you know, a big reversal, because you gotta think about it. AION was already moving to the upside. It was pretty strong. So AION was looking for this 1-to-1 extension. So if you know what's going on, right? AION was looking for this 1-to-1 extension, right? So even though BTC was bullish, right, AION decided to go bullish with BTC. But look at what happened. A lot of rejection. It couldn't handle that pressure from BTC, right? A lot of rejection. And then now we're moving to the downside, right? So let's see if AION can get back to this area of the first, right, which is just about like maybe 10% move to the upside, right? A 10% move to the upside, because almost 20%, right? It looks small, but it's a 20% move to the upside, going back like to 455. I mean, just about like 455, right? 455 sats. So, which is just about like half of a WANCHAIN, right? And then they both of these coins, they got the same all-time high. I think like $10, something like that, in that range. Not like WANCHAIN all-time high was like $13, and then AION was like $5. So you can expect, like, at least for the short term. It's also a nice, beautiful, a possible inverted head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, just about this area. AION could be making this inverse head and shoulder, come back, retest this area, just about this area. So come back, retest, and go back and make a U-turn. Because you gotta think about it. If a BTC, I keep saying it, if BTC wants to go to 6K, most likely AION gonna break down to the, to the downside, right? So, and then you're gonna get a support from this area, just like that, right? And then complete this neckline, and then a 1-to-1 extension. But it's a long-term view, so just keep that in mind, right? So, because AION is not gonna, I was pretty bullish on AION, right? Just about this area. So if I say like AION gonna pull back, it's because like I see BTC looking strong, right? So I was pretty bullish. Like it's a 70% move to the upside if you take a look at it, right? It's a 75% move to the upside since I started talking about AION, right? I got like AION video on my playlist, right? So let's go to my channel. I'll show you very quick. Come on. Right, so but it is loading very slow, so come on YouTube. I'm just going to show you very quick AION, right? All right guys, I know you know how to go to my YouTube channel and look for a video, right? So but it has a playlist called AION, so you can go and check it out. So I don't want to hold you too long about that AION video. So I think it just load up, so let's give it a try. Videos. Let's just forget about it. Okay, let's just forget about it. But we could be looking at a inverse head and shoulder for AION. I just talked about it, right? Inverse head and shoulder, come back, retest this area, right? So a possible 0.618, if we're gonna get a inverse head and shoulder, right, we're gonna have to pull back to a 0.618 most likely, right? So a 0.618, you already got a big support just about this area, so which is just like 352. So if BTC wants to be bullish, you could expect AION to come back down like to 352 to 3, let's say this area. It doesn't have to be exact, but just about 350 to 375 in that range, right? So a big support from this area. We could get like at least a 15% move to the upside after we get back to this area, right? So guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe, you know, if you're new to the content, so you can get these free updates, right? So Let's go ahead and talk about ZILLIQA. After we're gonna talk about WALTONCHAIN, and then we're gonna call it a night, right? ZILLIQA. If you guys don't have any question, BTC. Okay, you take a look at ZILLIQA, same pattern with the IOTA, right? Double bottom, double top, 0.786. Double bottom, double top, 0.786, right? So we push to the upside after we get back to this area, 0.786, almost like almost 25%, right? And then a push to the downside, right? So like I said, we need to focus also on the since the first what happened, right? On the first, right, a break, you know, same exact pattern with XRP, right? XRP volatility was just higher, that's why XRP just did it in 1 day. ZILLIQA did it in 3 days, right? So on the first, right, ZILLIQA was about to break out, but on the second, you know, BTC started to break out, push to the downside, you know, retested that area but couldn't break out like Nano, right? All of them, they're making the same pattern, and sometimes you don't have to look too far. You just have to, you know, look for the same pattern. So get back to this area of you know, 531. Now we, you know, break down, and then now we almost like a 440, something like that. So we're getting a big reversal candle. Hopefully, like all of it, hopefully we can find like some you know, some buying pressure. You know, let's take a look at the RSI, because the RSI, we could be the RSI is not looking bad, right? So when you take a look at it, we're not looking bad. It is just a corrective move. When you take a look at the RSI, it is just corrective, right? It's just corrective. So let's get this W right here. Hopefully we're gonna break it and come back, retest it, and move to the upside. So but it is pretty promising, right? When you take a look at the RSI, it is pretty promising, because we got this nice slow uptrend on the RSI, right? Take a look at it. We got this nice slow uptrend. You know, all of a sudden we break down because of BTC, right? So we're gonna get this W. Keep in mind, right? We're gonna get this W, right? Just like that, right? Possible, you know, we're possibly gonna break it, come back, retest it, and then get to that area. So if AION has to, if AION wants to make this move, most likely, you know, we're gonna get back to this area, you know, of the first, you know, get slight rejection, move to the down, move to the make a sideways correction, and a big move to the upside. So not AION but ZILLIQA. So keep an eye on ZILLIQA, at least for the short term. Let's see if we wanna, from this area, a pullback. We're already at, we got rejection from 382, right? So which is also a fib retracement, right? So 382. So let's challenge 0.618, right? 0.618, which is just about 581, right? We got rejection from 531. So a move to 581 is just about another 40% move to the upside, right? So which is pretty much doable, right? Because the RSI is already like just about 40. So in order to get back to like 75 on the RSI, it's not gonna be a big deal for us to get like a 40% move to the upside. But I'm pretty bullish on ZILLIQA, right? At least for the short term. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at NEBLIO, BTC. NEBLIO. Like I was showing you guys, NEBLIO also got like a nice double bottom, right? Double bottom, push to the upside, come back down to this area, and attempting to move to the upside, right? So on the same time frame, right, we got this nice, beautiful flag just about this area, right? A falling wedge, a push to the upside, just about like the, you know, the first, right? You know, attempted to get back to the upside, but we couldn't. So it is pretty strange, like why all this crypto making the same move just about this area from the 31st, right? getting back to that area, it's like somebody is keeping the price down for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. Like most of these coins, as soon as they get back to that area of April 1st, they push to the downside. So you can go check that on your own, right? It's a unique pattern, right? Most people are not paying attention to that, but most of these coins, they're gonna get back to this area of you know, April 1st. Either they're gonna break to the upside or they're gonna break to the downside. But of course, they either have to break to the upside, but break to the downside. But it is pretty strange, has, you know, how like most of them break to the downside, and then, you know, all of a sudden they, you know, getting back to that area with the same pattern. You know, unlike WANCHAIN, right? I talk about WANCHAIN making this pattern. So most of the coins, they make this pattern, get back to that area, right, and then push to the upside. So, but WANCHAIN decided just to push to the downside. So maybe like most of these coins, that's the end of the bull run. You know, it's a sign of a reversal probably, right? But we just have to keep that in mind in case like we see a big sell-off, so we can go back and say, hey, you know, this is what we got. This is the reason why we got a big sell-off. So, but keep that in mind, right? April 1st is the most important date in crypto right now. Not BTC, but April 1st is the most important date. You know, most of the crypto, they breaking down from the April 1st, so from the April 1st price, and then they cannot break above it, unlike Nano. So let's see if Nano gonna break down at least for the short term back to this area of April 1st. Let's go ahead and talk about Nano. So I'll show you again. You see Nano, you know, got a, you know, a push to the downside, get back to that area, and then move to the upside. So let's see if Nano, you know, break this area of previous resistance and then come back down to this area. It's gonna be a, you know, it's gonna be a big deal. So it might be like a good sign, like, you know, the bull run is already over, right? So because only Nano was able to break out of this area. Only Nano among the top coins, right? You know, Litecoin already, you know, was up, you know, versus BTC. So Litecoin doesn't count. Bitcoin Cash doesn't count. All of them doesn't count. But these are top 50 coins, like, you know, these coins below the top 3, top 5, you know, something like that. They're all, you know, getting like some selling pressure, you know, after April 1st, right? So. Hey, what's up, Jelly? Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. I know you're just tuning in, but if you guys have any coins you guys want to talk about, I already talked about all my list of coins I wanted to go through. You know, I think I didn't talk about Dash. Nobody asked about Dash. Let's talk about Dash. Dash is pretty strong. So Dash BTC. Jalil. Okay, Dash is pretty strong, right? Even though Dash, you take a look at April 1st, right? That's the only part I want to talk about. So April 1st, because it is pretty important, like April 1st. It could be the start of the bull run, but it could be like a trend continuation to the downside, and then we're gonna get a longer bear market. Because it is pretty critical. I've been talking about Dash since Dash was making this a 5-wave correction, this corrective 5-wave, and I say Dash gonna move to the upside. We got a 40% move, right? That was, I think, like March 10th. I say like Dash gonna dominate the second half of the month, right? And then that's what we exactly got, a 40% move to the upside. But Dash was pretty lucky, right? Before BTC started to move to the upside, Dash already got 40%. So you take a look at Dash, right? I don't think Dash gonna break out anytime soon. After 40% move versus BTC, right? And then on April 1st, right? Exactly on April 1st, that's when Dash tapped out. Keep that in mind, guys. I'm pretty bullish on alt, but when I see a pattern, and then when I see a pattern, like a repetitive pattern on all crypto, you gotta raise a flag, right? So keep that in mind. On April 1st, all crypto went down, and then they cannot break above that area. Look at Dash, right? Made the same type of pattern I've been talking about the last 30 minutes, right? Push to the downside, get back, U-turn, and then now it's failing, right? So hopefully it can get back to this area, and then we're going to see how Dash is going to react, right, once we get to that area. But it is not looking good, right? When you see like at least like, you know, almost 40-50 coins making the same pattern and then they cannot break out, so it is a big deal. I want crypto to move to the upside, but let's say we break this area of April 1st versus BTC, it is going to be a good sign. Maybe, you know, we're going to reassess our judgment. I'm pretty bullish, but for now I'm start to raise some concern, right? We have to break this area versus BTC. So, and BTC has to remain strong also, right? Because if BTC is staying like at 52 to, you know, 5,000 to 5,200, and then all these coins break into the downside, it's not a good sign. If BTC makes a flag, you want this coin to break out, right? BTC is making a flag, this coin has to break out, right? All of these coins, they're supposed to be breaking out, but BTC is making a flag, but all of these coins, they are, you know, moving to the downside. They cannot get back to their previous high. It is not a good sign. But you gotta think about it, most of them, they already like went up 40-50% also, so, you know, versus BTC. So maybe it's a good time for a pullback and let BTC take all that volume. So BTT, I never take a look at BTT, so I think BTT doesn't have enough volume. BTT, BC8, not BTT, BCH, BTT, BTC. It got me confused now. Too many T's. BTC doesn't have enough volume, so I don't know anything about BTC. I mean, not BTC, BTT. But it seemed like it had a bull run, and then now it's correcting. Let's see how much it went down. So let's see. So we could be seeing like some more down pressure from BTT. It's not even at 0.786, right? It's just about like 14. So it's not even that much, right? 14 cents. I mean, not 14 cents. 14 sats and 13 sats, right? The current price is 14 sats. The next area of support is just about, no, the current price is 14, and then the next area of support is just 13, right? So I mean, it is pretty big, right? But if you take a look at it in terms of percentage, it's like what, 8%, something like that. Let's see. I know how to do math now. Like 6%, 8%, right? So it is pretty. It's a big deal, right? So 8% drop. So all right, it's 8% drop for the next area of support for BTT. So let's see if BTC is gonna get some. I don't have any BTT, so you just mentioned it, so that's why I'm talking about it, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at Halo since you talk about BTT. Take a look at Halo. Halo is on its own world, a double bull market, basically repeating like what the market is doing right now. So, but it's repeating like the 2018 bull market, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Not 2018 bull market, but 2018 bear market, right? So just like that. So you could be expecting a Halo to make this move, probably break to the downside, and make this move. If it wants to make the repeat the 2018 bear market, but because you know you gotta think about it, Halo went up like what? I like Halo, but I don't have any, so went up like 600% up, right, versus BTC. That's a huge deal. But another good thing about Halo, the market is pretty bullish. It might not need like this whole time to repeat this pattern. It is over. It is almost like over. It is almost like oversold, right? So, and then we're getting a corrective structure on the R side. So let's see how Halo gonna be able to handle this area. Cause let's see. Not you. We're already at a 0.618, right? So that's a good sign, at least for the short term, right? So, but Halo has to make a corrective structure on the price in order for us. It has double bottom though at 0.618, right? it's a double bottom. So a lot of people are trying to push the price to the upside. So that's a good sign, right? So next challenge, let's just challenge this area of up. Let's see. I would be looking for a hollow to get back to this area of 0.618, right? And retest that 0.618, which is just another 25% move to the upside, right? So once we get to that area, if I'm making a live, let me know what you think about, you know, about hollow going back to that 0.618, right? So that would be a good sign, at least for the short term, for hollow to get back to let's say, I think that's just about like 30 sats, right? Just about 30 sats. The current price is just 25, so it is pretty big, right? So the number is just small, but in terms of percentage, it's pretty big, 25 to 30 sats. So when you buy in hollow, don't be like, oh, it's 30 and 25. The percentage is big. It is pretty big. It's like Tron going from 500 to 600 sats. So it's the same percentage. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about Zcash. Zcash. Because Zcash was looking promising for some reason, but BTC is pretty strong. So okay, Jalil, thanks. What coin do I hold in April? I made a video just about what coin do I hold in April, right? I'm not holding most of them. I just like them, but I like, you know, let me give you my list of coin I've talked about for April. It's IOTA, Stratus, XRP, Tron, Ethereum Classic, Wave, and Bitcoin SV. So I already made a special video about that. So if you want, you can go back to you can go to my channel and then look for, because it is moving slow. That's why I don't want to go back to the YouTube. So but you can go on my channel and look for my top 7 pick for April. Even if you look it up on YouTube, top 7 pick for April on my channel, you can find it, right? So, and then I made a special video about those 7 coins and why, you know, I picked them, right? And they're all down like in the first quarter, so they're pretty safe for even like for the second quarter, right? Because I think like IOTA was down 13% the first quarter, Stratus like -9 first quarter, XRP -12, Tron just about -1, right? Ethereum Classic was -5, Wave -11, and then Bitcoin SV was -27. And then Bitcoin SV and Ethereum Classic, they went up over like 55% on average the first week of April, right? So you can go check them out, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Zcash. So it is BTC. Let's take a look at Zcash. Let's just get a clean chart. Zcash is looking pretty much just like the rest of the crypto. Since April 1st, it pushed to the downside, right? Move back up, and then couldn't you know, even get back to that area of April 1st, right? So it is pretty strange for some reason, man. It is pretty strange. But if Zcash dropped from this area of support, right, I'm expecting a 1-to-1 extension, right? I'm expecting a 1-to-1 extension. I'm pretty bullish for Zcash, but I really don't want to force the price, so, because that's how you get hurt if you try to force the price. So let's say a 1-to-1 extension, right? So you would be looking at Zcash dropping just about for support another 10% versus BTC. So which is pretty much doable if BTC wants to go up, right? If BTC wants to go up, most of these alt, they're gonna get crushed just like that, right? just like that. You see on the first, ZILLIQA dropped like 13% when BTC was moving to the upside, so I didn't even like check this candle, but it went down like 13% when BTC was going up. So but let's just hope like Stratus gonna break that area, right? Let's go back to Stratus, because if Stratus break that area, I don't have any Stratus, right? But let's say Stratus break that area, right? If Stratus break this area, it is going to be a good sign, right? Because we at least know that now we got a new pattern. So all you have to do, it's not a financial advice, right? All you have to do is go back on CoinMarketCap and look for a coin that break down on the first and hasn't get back to that area yet. That's all you have to do. And then most of those coins like WANCHAIN is down like 27% since the first, right? Versus BTC, right? So it is a very like good pattern to keep in mind, right? Because I mean, you don't have to do any Elliott waves, you don't have to do any counting, you just have to look for this pattern. Like I told you, the most important day is the first in crypto right now. The most important day is the first. It's not like the first day BTC was created. It is the 1st of April 1st, right? So all alt break to the downside, and then they're getting back to this area of the first. So I'm looking forward, at least for the short term, Stratus to break this area, because Stratus is the only coin Stratus and Nano, right? Those are the only coin I can see like I've seen like getting back to this area of neckline. And Tron, right? Tron and Verge also, right? And then they break out, right? So let's see if Stratus can repeat this pattern. So all you have to do, look for like WANCHAIN or ICX, right? Let's go to one. Let's go to WANCHAIN, right? My top 5 pick for I'm gonna talk about my top 5 pick for the next my number 1 top pick. It has to be BTC, right? But my number 2 pick, okay. Let's focus on WANCHAIN, and then I'm gonna tell you later my top 5 pick. Make sure to remind me about my top 5 pick, right? So you take a look at WANCHAIN, right? On April 1st. Right, I talked about WANCHAIN already, but I just want to give you, about what's going on with in the market since April 1st. So WANCHAIN is, down almost like what, 20%? Let's see, let's double check. It's down like 25% since April 1st, right? It is pretty big. It is pretty significant, right? Down 25% versus BTC, right? So you gotta think about it, right? If BTC did not go up, in dollar value, the price of WANCHAIN in dollar value would have like dropped 25%, right? It is a pretty big deal. The only reason the dollar value of WANCHAIN is just about like I don't even know, like maybe like I think like 40 cents, right? It's because BTC went up like let's see, BTC went up I think 25%, right? 27%. That's why WANCHAIN is still like a 40 cents, right? So you gotta think about it, right? So if BTC dropped, right? BTC dropped like a let's say 10%. WANCHAIN gonna drop about like 20-25%, right? It's not gonna be good for WANCHAIN, at least on its dollar value. So, and also at its like BTC value. So you gotta keep that in mind. So let's say Stratus break this area of not in terms of price, but we're talking about like time. Now we talk about time, right? Break this area of April 1st. You can expect WANCHAIN to make this big move, right? This big move, this 36% move. So that's an easy shot, man. That's an easy shot. It's not a financial advice, but it's an easy shot, man. That's pretty big move. And then another break to the upside. Let's say another 14% move to the upside. That's like almost 60% move, like you can expect from WANCHAIN. But we have to wait for Stratus to give us the pattern, and then some other coins, right? Like ICX, AION, and all of them to give us the same pattern. They got the same pattern, but they have to break this area of April 1st. So think of in terms of time right now. It is very important. Time analysis is very important right now. So it is very important. You can make like some significant gain from just watching these what's going on since like the first, right? because most of these coins, they're gonna break out, but you know, you gotta know what's going on, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at ADA again, because I think ADA has a unique pattern after that inverse head and shoulder. Saying PPT Populous is at the lowest level and hasn't really popped yet. Where is it going next, please? Populous, I'm gonna take a look at Populous. You take a look at the ADA, right? Since the first, right? Let's get a clean chart. ADA, I mean a Populous and Walton, right? Take a look at ADA, the first, right? Keep that in mind, right? The first, when was the first? The second, the first ADA was holding strong, but the second it couldn't handle the pressure. Look at big move to the downside, a big reversal, right? So, but what happened? We couldn't break out after that, right? On the first, we just like moved to the upside, maybe like 2-3%, right? Versus BTC. We went up 10%, though it was pretty strong, but look at big rejection. Now we're moving to the downside, right? Like, so it is pretty significant. So let's see if ADA also can break this area. So ADA can break this area, but it is ADA went up like almost, let's see. So if you've been following me, right, we hit our target for ADA like 16, I think it was like 1897 exactly, right? Our target was 1897, right? And then I've been talking about that inverse head and shoulder for ADA for the longest, right? So if you've been following me the last at least 2 months, you know I was talking about this 3 up 3 down from ADA. Actually 3 down 3 up, not 3 up 3 down. 3 down, right? You got your 3 wave to the downside and this move to the upside, and then your neckline just like BTC, neckline and shoulder, a 1-to-1 extension, 1.618 extension. Most people were targeting a 1-to-1 extension. We target a 1.618 extension. So but ADA is pretty made a big move to the upside, like 84% move, 84%, right? Move to the upside, bro. You can at least expect like a pullback, right? At least for the short term. So but we had a 382 level, 1617. Next target to look for is just about, you know, 1508 to like 1400. So if BTC like move to the upside, it's definitely gonna come back, retest this area, which is not a bad thing, right? It's nothing bad, because the dollar value for ADA is still gonna be going up, and people are gonna be happy. They don't know what's going on. They're still gonna be happy because ADA dollar value is going up. But if you understand what's going on, you're still gonna be waiting for ADA to pull back versus BTC. So hey, what's up, Pat? Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and so you can get these updates. So I already talked about XRP, so but I'm going to talk about XRP very shortly. Let's go ahead and talk about Populous and WANCHAIN, and then XRP. PPT. All right, let's just get a clean chart. Populous. Okay, when you take a look at Populous is very weak since like the first, right? You guys gotta keep that in mind, right? On the first, Populous made this L shape, right? And then a push to the downside, right? A retest of the previous low. So it is pretty surprising to see Populous back to like a 30,000, but hopefully we're not gonna retest this low, this let's say 2000 level, right? It's not gonna be a good sign. But I'm pretty bullish on Populous because I own some. But like let's say if we break to the downside, I'm still gonna be accumulating. But I think Populous will at least retest, right? Will at least retest this area, right? Which is another 30% move to the upside, right? So I'm looking for Populous to retest the April 1st price, which is just about like almost like 40,000, right? Because you gotta think about it. I keep saying it. Populous and Walton, they moved together, and Walton retested like 53, almost like 50,000, 55,000 sats, right? So if the market remains bullish, I could be expecting that Populous to get back to 57,000 sats, at least for the short term. So at least for the short term. Because you gotta remember, if you've been watching at least the market, right, you've been accumulating, not doing anything, right, just watch the market, you know Populous always has a better price than Walton, right? But I mean better price, higher price than Walton. So it's just like you can go back on CoinMarketCap and recheck all those prices, right? Populous went up like to 75 cents. I mean, not 75 cents. Went up to like $75, right? When Walton was like what? Like maybe I think like 40 some $50. I can't remember. But Populous all-time high was like I think like $75 or 77 in that range. But I can't remember. That was when I was looking at the dollar value instead of the BTC value. So, but Populous always has a higher value than a Walton. So, and Walton beat 57. So Populous definitely can beat 57,000 sats. So, but we have to break this area first of all. Get back to April 1st. That's the most important. But this whole move is just a corrective. If you think of it right, think of it that way, right? It's just a corrective structure, just like a ZILLIQA, right? 3 up, 3 down, right? So 3 up, 3 down. So we already got the three wave to the downside, right? Let's see. The corrective move is just big, but you got your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, big support. So the only bad thing about Populous is that we could be repeating this pattern just about here, because you gotta remember you're playing with the bot, so they're gonna remember this 30% move to the downside, right? So it's like almost 40% move to the downside. So I'm very worried about this. I mean, I don't have any buy order just about this area, or I don't have any stop loss for Populous because I'm just accumulating. So you know, unless Populous goes like 10x all of a sudden. But Populous is you know, making a corrective structure. Let's hope we're gonna get back to this area. That's our first target. You know, 38,000. It's not a big deal for Populous, but no divergence on the RSI. So you can expect, like, at least for the short term, right? No, we don't have no divergence. You know, you just fall into the downside, right? No divergence. So no divergence, but it is a nice structure, corrective structure, but we have to be flat first of all, right? We have to be flat, and then we're gonna see some like this on the price, like a big wick, you know, big tail, small body, something like that, at least before we can think of a reversal, because we don't have any sign of reversal at the time, right? But we just have to wait for Stratus and Verge, you know, to show us some pattern. IOTA is making the same pattern, right? I already talked about IOTA. IOTA also breaking down just like that. So guys, so let's just be cautious. I know we all want the market to go up, but if you see like a similar pattern like in old crypto, you know, you gotta be vigilant, right? Otherwise we could be facing the same you know, type of selling pressure since, you know, started since like you know, January 2018, right? So, but hopefully not, but you just want to remain cautious, so yeah, you won't be panicking and all of that. So because they're all making the same pattern, so you know, they're all making the same pattern at the moment, right? But this time you couldn't recognize this, right? So, but let's say you had some type of a pattern recognition, right? You could be like saying, oh, why old crypto not going back to this area of you know, area of you know, April 18, right? 18th, right? So you could recognize it and then you're like, oops, you know, it's time to get out, right? As soon as we break this area, you say it's time to get out. So, and then you could be saving a lot of money, right? Since then, right? So it could be the same thing, right? Again, so if most of the crypto cannot break April 1st versus BTC, we gotta think of it, right? So my prediction for XRP, I mean, I think XRP gonna go a lot higher than 36 cents. It's just my, I mean, it's not just my personal opinion, it's like, you know, the whole market opinion, right? But you know, just to you know, the whole market knows XRP gonna go a lot higher than 36 cents, right? On my trading view, right, I said like XRP gonna go to $50 next bull run. So, but don't buy XRP because I say XRP gonna go to $50, right? So it is my, of course, it is my personal opinion, right? So, because it is my personal opinion, and don't buy XRP because I say it's gonna go to $50. So most people saying XRP gonna go to 589. That's even a bit bigger number, right? But if XRP, you know, XRP, if they say like XRP gonna do everything it needs to be doing, most likely it's gonna be more than $50. But just to be conservative, right? So just to be conservative, let's go ahead and take a look at I think Walton, right? WTC, right? BTC. Guys, make sure to hit the like and Tether, right? Tether. I think Tether is pretty has a smaller volume, but I'll take a look at it. You take a look at it, man. I'm tired of this pattern, man. I see it everywhere. I know you guys tired of it also, right? Take a look at it. Walton, right? As now you open up the chart, you know, the first, second, push to the upside, get back to the area of neckline from from the first when you talk about BTC, right? And push to the downside. So I mean, we're getting like a reversal candle after 3 days, right? Let's see if Walton gonna get back to that area and give us a breakout. Because you gotta think about Walton is like it went up like to 53,000 sats, like I said, right? But it could be a nice corrective structure, but I'm just like worried because like all crypto are making the same move. Even like crypto that crypto that went up like 40%, 50%, making the same move with crypto that didn't go even like 5% up versus BTC. So that's the only reason. So, but Walton, that was our target, just about this area. When I was talking about Walton was just about this area. That was like first week of April, right? Look at, man, we went up almost, we doubled in price, right? So that was the first week of March, right? Not first week of April, first week of March. I talked about Walton. So for some reason, let's see, let's go to my channel. I'll show you that video very quick. Or if you can go to my channel, I have a Walton, Populous, and NEM video. Like, and I say like Walton 25% move to the upside, and Populous 25% move to the upside, and NEM 35% move to the upside. That was a thumbnail, and I think that was early March or earlier mid March. I have to double check it. Go to videos, right? Go to playlist. Sorry for the delay, but I just have to show you guys, right? It's just about this area. Maybe I don't have a playlist for it. You see, I got a AION playlist. If you want to know AION, you go back, watch that playlist. Videos. Yeah, I started covering Tron. Where is Walton, Populous? Come on, guys, come on. Just about this area. Come on, guys, just about this area. That was like 4 weeks ago, guys. You can go back and watch this video, right? Right. That was mid March, right? You can go and watch that video, so if you want. So, right. So Walton, Populous, and NEM ready to explode, right? So that was March 11, right? Let's go and see what was the price of Walton on March 11, right? March 11, right? That was just about this area. So you're looking at like 70% move to the upside after I made that video, guys. So 70% move. So if you're new to the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe so you can support the channel. So I think only Populous is only NEM is down. Let's go ahead and talk about NEM. So make sure you go to my channel, and then most of these coins, man, I already I talked about them, like, and then say what they're gonna do like 30-45 days ago, right? So you take a look at NEM, right? When was it? March 11, right? March 11, right? When NEM went up, you know, 50% move to the upside, right? Since I made that video, I say NEM Populous. Only Populous is down, so you can expect, like, at least for the short term, you know, hopefully Populous gonna repeat the same pattern with NEM. And so when was it again? March 11, Populous went up 30%, but came back down. So it is the only coin, like, that is underperforming, like, among that list. So but we're just gonna have to wait and see, at least for the short term. All right, Bitcoin SV waves. Talk about Bitcoin SV, BTC, not BTC SV, BCH SV. All right, guys, it's almost like 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm gonna call it a night after BCH SV, but Bitcoin SV is looking extremely bullish. I talked about BCH SV just about this area, right, of the first day of April, right? It is pretty strange, right? Bitcoin SV is the only coin that went up with BTC. And that was right after I made that video, man. It went up 50%, man. 50% in 3 days, man. 7 days, actually. Sorry. Actually, I made that video on the 31st, and it went up 2 days later, man. 2 days, right? On the 3rd of April, it went up 50%, guys, versus BTC. Even though BTC went up 25%, it went up 50% versus BTC. So, hey, Nicholas. So, but you guys not asking any questions. So if you're not asking any question, you guys gonna keep me bored, because I already know what I have a list of coin, I can do analysis, and I don't have to go live to do this analysis. So if you guys not asking any question, you guys are just gonna keep me bored, because I can talk forever, right? Because I know what I'm talking about. But take a look at BCH SV. Right? I say, like, BCH SV was 27% down the first quarter. 27% down the first quarter, and I say it's gonna make a big move to the upside, just like Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic went 60% move after I made that video, and you got a 50% move from a BCHSB. So the market is pretty bullish. I'm just worried about, like, that pattern, all this crypto making the 1st of April push to the downside, came back down, and pushing back to the downside. It could be a corrective. It looks like a corrective structure. But why all of them making this corrective structure? It is pretty worrisome, right? We could break it, come back, retest, and then go to the moon. Because I'm pretty bullish, at least for this spring. I've been saying it, crypto gonna be bullish the next, 30 to 60 days at least, right? 30 to 60 days at least for the short term. I already talked about NEBLIO. Guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you're new to the content. Some of you guys, I'm not familiar with your name, like Nicholas, Adam, right? So make sure to hit the like and subscribe, right? So we can have some fun and entertain each other, right? Every now and then. So NEBLIO. I just talked about NEBLIO, so I remember this pattern. Looking nice corrective structure, get back to this area for April 1st, couldn't move to the upside, get a rejection. So let's see how NEBLIO gonna be breaking down from this area. So because it's gonna have to wait. The rest of the crypto is not gonna drop by itself. I don't think NEBLIO gonna break down by itself. If we're gonna see a sell-off from NEBLIO, it's gonna be like from the whole market. So a nice double bottom started like first week of August, pushed to the upside, just like Nano, right? But Nano didn't get the chance to do a double bottom. Nano just went straight up, but it made a nice double bottom from first week of August, second week of August, right? to like a first week of September, it pushed to the upside, right? A sideways correction. Now it is like making a corrective structure just about this area, but we have to beat this area, man. We cannot keep getting rejection when the market is bullish. We cannot get this rejection. We have to, otherwise we're gonna have to recheck this area. Just go back, you know, from the previous you know, support, and then I'll move to the upside, right? Most likely it's gonna happen if BTC goes to the upside, right? Most likely, because I'm pretty bullish on BTC. So most of these alt, their dollar value gonna be going up, but their BTC value, you gotta remember, we're talking about in sats, right? Not in dollar, because the price of NEBLIO in dollars could be going up. I don't even know the price of NEBLIO in dollar. Could be going up, right? But the price of NEBLIO versus BTC could be moving sideways or getting support from this area now. So just hope like BTC gonna do well. That's the only thing we need to be hoping. BTC goes like to 6K. BTC goes to 6K, right? I'm based in Georgia. Not Georgia in Europe, but Georgia in US, but I'm from Senegal, so it's in West Africa. If you guys are familiar with Senegal or not, I don't know. So let's go back, take a look at a BTC, because BTC could be looking very interesting. But I like the altcoin, right? Because altcoin will give you a better move to the upside than BTC. I just buy versus BTC, but I don't know. Even if BTC goes like to $1,000, I wouldn't be panicking. Like most people are gonna be panicking, because if you think like it, if you think of it like this way, BTC was like a penny, man. It was a penny. None of us didn't know about it. And now it's like 3K, 5K. You know, people are panicking. So it's gonna go a lot higher than 5K. It's just a matter of time. So BTC is looking like we're getting like a lot of. I mean, it's not a good sign, right? As soon as we close the daily candle on the 9th, you know, we couldn't get back to the, you know, that area of you know, let's say 52.40, right? But that was like 52, almost 52.50, right? So, but you know, the new candle is pretty bullish. You take a look at the volume on the new candle, right? Let's take a look at the volume. Take a look at the volume on the new candle, right? Guys, make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Greeting from China. Oh, I was waiting for a subscriber from China. Okay, I have a lot of Chinese friends, that's why. So you take a look at this candle, right? The volume is pretty low, but look at how bullish the candle is, right? I keep saying it, right? Keep a clear attention. I made a detailed analysis about volume. You can go back to my YouTube channel, and then on the I think like the 24th, right? I say like BTC talked about the volume, right? And I has a playlist of BTC. I got a playlist of BTC, you know. So go back and play that list. Play that playlist. Okay. So a very small volume, but look at how engulfing this body, you know, this candle body is, right? This body is pretty big, almost like 90% of this body. So it is pretty significant, right? And then we got 12 hours to go, right? We got more than 12 hours to go for this daily candle to close, right? So it is pretty significant. So, but we need to close above this previous volume, right? High, this selling pressure, we have to beat it, and it was like, let's say 34,000, right? So we got to get like a buying pressure of at least like 34,000 to neutralize this candle, at least for the short term, right? So, oops, sorry, excuse me. So let's say we get this you know, big engulfing candle with like a 40,000 buying pressure. It's gonna be a good thing, right? So now let's take a look at the RSI, right? The RSI is looking pretty interesting also, because we're not getting any divergence at all from the RSI, right? Let's take a look at the R side. Take a look at the R side, right? If you don't want to cheat yourself, right? Let's do this really quick. My phone trying to update, and I don't want it to update right now. So, guys, let's take a look at the R side, right? You take a look at the R side. We're making some higher highs, right, on the R side. If you don't want to cheat yourself, right, you're not gonna say it's a double top. It is not a double top, right? It is not a double top. R side is pretty strong. It is not a double top, right? Just about this area, right? The slope is not flat. It's definitely not flat. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price. When you take a look at the price, we got the same pattern. Price is making higher high, right? Just about this area. And then now the R side dropped to the downside, price dropped to the downside. So we're not getting any divergence, right? We're not getting any divergence. So what I'm looking for, at least for the short term, since R side is looking weak, I'm looking for a price to take advantage of that, weakness from the R side, and then we're gonna get a divergence. And then we're gonna see how long this divergence can last if BTC can compete with Litecoin, because Litecoin got a 60 days divergence, man. 60 days, the first week of February to the first week of April, right? So that's 60 days, right? Tron got a 45 days divergence. So if you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about, right? I've been talking about this divergence forever, right? So the R side just about this area, no divergence. So the candle is pretty bullish. So we can expect at least a lot of volatility the next 24 to 48 hours. Because if the bears, if like the bears are like want to keep the price below 52.50, it's going to be a lot of volatility. So a lot of selling pressure. But if the bulls want to close above 52.50, it's going to be a good day, like on Thursday, right? Because we're already like on Wednesday. So Thursday going to be very interesting. So but we have to close above 52.50. Like I said, like last week, BTC needed to close above 50.50, and we did, right? I think the previous day, not the same exact day I said it, but like after that day, we closed like above like 50.50, right? We even closed like went way above 50.50. So, but we have to close above 50.50 at least the next 24 hours. I mean, next 12 hours. We want to close this candle above 50.50. So it's not going to be a 50-50 chance, right? But it's just a coincidence I say 50-50, but we have to close above 52.50, right? So, and then we're going to see how we're going to handle this resistance. It is pretty weak. It's not a strong resistance, right? So it is pretty weak. So we don't have no area of resistance. When you take a look at your left, no area of resistance. The only area of resistance we're gonna get is this area of weakness, which is just about 5,700. So we're definitely gonna get to 56. So I'm pretty bullish on BTC. I've been saying BTC. I've been talking about this inverse head and shoulder. When the whole market was pretty bearish and was calling for, you guys need to go and watch my BTC playlist, right? Go and watch that BTC playlist, right? Go watch the BTC play. Let me show you very quick. BTC playlist, right? Go to my YouTube channel, click on playlist, right? And then you're gonna see BTC price update, send crypto, right? It has just about 16 videos, right? But most of these videos are just like 3 to 4 minutes, right? The first 5 videos are very important. Started on February 22nd, right? I give you like a detailed analysis of how BTC is gonna break out. Exactly, just about this area, right? Just about this area. Most people were calling like after we got this drop, that's when I say BTC is gonna make a sideways correction. 5 to 7 days, a push to the upside, a fake out to the downside, another push to the upside, sideways correction, and bang, everybody gonna be surprised with a 1000% more from BTC. That was like February 2nd, guys, not February 22nd, right? So you can go and watch that video, man. Like but most people were pretty bearish, was calling like BTC to retest like 3K, and I was like, man, we're not gonna retest this 3K at least you know, not in 2019. So, and look at all of them now pretty bullish, man. So, but be careful, like when all of those people were calling like those people, you know, who were calling like a 3K BTC now bullish, you gotta be careful, you know, because they're gonna catch you off guard, and then BTC gonna drop to 5, you know, after we get to a 7K, BTC gonna drop to like 5K, stuff like that, and then you're not gonna be ready for that move. Because as now we get to 6K, all of them, they're gonna be calling for 10K, 12K, 13K. So if you don't know what's going on, I mean, you're gonna be panicking as soon as we get a 10% drop from BTC, right? So you're from Hawaii, it's 11:30 a.m. right? PM, 11:30 p.m. all right, it's not that late, it's 5:30 a.m. in Georgia. So our side is 80 for BTC. I mean, if BTC wants to go up, I mean, I don't think our side 80 is a big deal, especially we don't have no divergence. So the only thing I can think of, right, just a corrective wave, just like this, right? Just a corrective wave, just like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Let me see. Let me show you. We already got this move to the downside, right? Got this move to the downside. Come back, retest this. Come back here, retest this 47.80, right? And then they push to the upside. That's the only thing I can think of, right? So that way we're gonna get the R side to like a 68.72 in that range before a push through, right? That resistance. So, but BTC is not going back to 3K. I don't see it. A nice crossover, right? BTC, you know, this crossover is pretty big, man. It is pretty significant, right? Okay, got disconnected, got back again. All right, good to have you back, man. And then one thing I just wanted to point out before I let you go, you know, is just, let's take a look. Let's remove this volume. Before I let you guys go, I would just want to show you this really quick. It is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing, guys. Okay, you take a look at Binance, right? When you take your swing high to swing low, just about this area, you know, BTC is not at 0.618 yet. It is not at 0.618. But when you go on Bitstamp, it is at 0.618, right? So you got to keep that in mind. And 0.618 is just about 6,000. When you take a look at it, right? It's just about 6,000 level. So reason why I'm targeting 6,000, like BTC to pull back to 6,000, right? And then if you take this previous high, right? BTC is respecting each of these high, just about this area. Now take a look. You take a look at this July high. BTC is just about 382, right? You take a look at the May high, right? The first week of May high, right? BTC is not even like at 382 yet, right? If you just want to take a look at May high, right? BTC is not even at, you know, 382. So, and we most likely could be like looking at like the entire wave, like BTC to pull back to this. Let's see. I know it is pretty aggressive, but most people are not paying attention to the bigger picture. Right? We could be pulling back all the way up to 50% pullback, almost like 10K. But most people not paying attention, right? Only just about this area from the entire move, right? This retracement of the entire move, right? It could be like we could be pulling back like, you know, let's say 10 to 11K. I know it's pretty big, but people are not paying attention. When I was saying like BTC going to 53, you know, some people didn't even like believe that BTC will ever get back to 53, right? So, but we have to get to 6K, a pullback, and then we're going to update the price. So, because the next pullback from 6K is the most important. So, depending how we're going to pull back, what type of selling pressure we're going to get, what type of volume, all of that, you know, going to be, we're going to take a look at all of that in detail, right? So All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I already talked about all these coins I wanted to go through, and then you know, I might be going live again tomorrow after, you know, just about like 1 p.m. 2 p.m. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and so you can get these updates, right, if you find the content useful. All right, guys, thank you for watching.